Well, hi there. My name is Amy Long, and I am going to be performing a song called Dusk in June. Before we go ahead and roll the clip of me singing that with myself, because it's a 4-part song, and I can't do that live. We have to do that on video. Before we roll that clip, I did want to tell you a little bit about who wrote it and why I love it. So this particular work, Dusk in June, is a collaboration between 2 women. The composer is Amy Beach, and she was setting to music a poem that was written by Sara Teasdale. You might be familiar with the name Sara Teasdale if you have ever taken an American literature class, because Sara Teasdale's poems generally feature in the curriculum for those sorts of classes. You might be familiar with the name Amy Beach if you have gone to any sort of music event recently, because she's had a resurgence. Her name is getting back out there. When I say back out there, so there's a little period where people had kind of forgotten about her, but in her day, she was recognized as a famous composer, a famous American composer, a famous American woman composer throughout the world, internationally. So she was a child prodigy, and she could pick out any tune and just start making up harmonies on the piano, and people wanted her to go perform, and her mom said, "No, I want her to be a normal child." So Amy didn't have the child prodigy lifestyle, but it didn't stop her from starting her piano performance career by the time she was just 16. And by the time she was 30, she was an internationally recognized composer. Sara Teasdale, a famous poet, she started writing poetry when she was pretty young as well. And then by the time she was 34, she won a Pulitzer Prize for one of her novels, one of her books of poetry, So we have these 2 highly accomplished, famous women living at about the same time, but they weren't in exactly the same place. Sara Teasdale was based out of St. Louis, Missouri, and Amy Beach lived and worked, for the most part, when she was in the States. There was a period where she went to Europe and lived in Europe, but when she was living in the United States, she's mostly in the Massachusetts area. Nevertheless, it's clear that they knew about each other and that they admired each other's work. And we know that because we have the song Dusk in June, which Amy found Sara's poem, Dusk in June, and thought, I could write some music for that would be beautiful, and asked for Sara's permission to use the poem, and Sara said yes. So we know that they liked each other's work, even if they might not have known each other personally. So why do I like this? I like this because it's beautiful. I like it because it's a beautiful piece of music, right? And I also like it because it's evidence of that collaborative spirit, which I absolutely love. And it's also evidence that women have been accomplishing things forever. So this is from American history, around the turn of the century. Yeah, around 1917, I think, is when this particular song was published. And it's still beautiful today. And it still shows that there is this beautiful collaborative effort going on. So we're almost to the song. I just want to kind of go through what the poem is saying, because I'm not sure my diction is really going to come through. But the poem is about the author is sitting outside on an evening. The sun's going down. It's June, it's summer. The flowers are sweet. The birds are singing. And she thinks, oh, it's so lovely to listen to these birds singing their hearts out before they go to bed for the night. And then she extrapolates that to say, I want to sing my joys out before the night, metaphorically speaking. So it's a beautiful, simple poem, which is the kind of poem that Sara Teasdale is known for. Great imagery, and I think that Amy Beach did a great job of evoking that imagery in the music. Without any further ado, here's the song Dusk in June.